Taking a look at some of our headlines for this Monday morning on the Alaska scene, we see that up on the North Slope there is a leaking well house that was venting gas and spraying crude oil over the weekend. The latest update is that it is no longer spraying crude oil. However, it is still leaking gas, and they have to be able to do a number of steps before they can actually kill that spray. A pilot attempted an emergency landing on the Parks Highway and ended up clipping some power lines and nosediving. He managed to get some minor injuries. No one else was hurt in that crash. A man's body was found in a downtown Fairbanks motel stairwell. It is being investigated as a homicide. They have not given any details as to how the man died, but they are asking anyone with any information about any kind of suspicious activity to call the Fairbanks police. Well, the Alaska House has now passed the first income tax since 1980. And if you've been out of town, you've just come back to the idea that, oh yeah, we're going to have an income tax and lower PFDs at the same time. Also, there's a marijuana store that is trying to make history in downtown Talkeetna. It is in the same location as the first guide who went up Denali. Some people are saying that it doesn't really fit with the family-friendly atmosphere in Talkeetna. Depends on what kind of family you have, I guess. 2 people wounded in a shooting at the Cabin Tavern in Anchorage over the weekend. And there was also a rally in Palmer where dozens of people showed up to show support for the Pioneer homes. This happened about the same time that the Alaska Senate made a statement formally supporting Pioneer homes. This after they had talked about cutting funding and would have managed to, evict a whole bunch of old folks from the Pioneer homes. If you are a skier, there are a number of trails that you cannot ski on anymore. Certainly in the interior, they're pretty much toast. Down in Anchorage, there are still some skiable areas, but Matsu has closed their trails, and they're saying you're going to have to stay off all the trails for probably at least till the end of April to make sure that they firm up a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to destroy the trails. You try to go biking or hiking on them, you're just going to turn that muck into an unpassable morass. Also, and remember, we talked about Vice President Pence on his way to South Korea. He managed to stop off in Alaska and have a little visit, 30 minutes, with Governor Walker, in which the governor really emphasized how important it is that Alaska continues to have free trade with Asia. Also, we see a story that comes from the UA Board of Regents. They're wrestling with the budget cuts that have been handed down by the legislature. And there is going to be a new school tax to fund education. Technically, it's the same income tax that we mentioned earlier. I don't know how they can manage to say it's for the schools. It's just going into the major coffers. There is a move to cut the budget for the city museum in Juneau. Apparently, the people that looked at it said, yeah, it's like the bottom of the barrel. It's like the least important thing that we're spending public money on. And an SEC investigation. There's an allegation that there was insider trading tied to that deal for GCI and Liberty. And there's a whole mess of other stories that we simply do not have time for in this little video format. So if you are interested in getting more, I do a 30-minute version of the news, audio only, that gets emailed directly to my paid subscribers at radiofreespeech.com. Check it out. And it's really amazingly affordable to be able to get that news delivered right to your inbox at 5 a.m. every morning. You can download it and listen on your way to work. radiofreespeech.com. Check it out.